This
going to
conference
speak
will now
about
be recorded.
main SWUGN. My name is Mohammed Al-Mittaba. I'm a student at Sudan University of Science and Technology, CSWE, and sort of champion and SWUG leader. Our presenter or our guest is Dan Wagner. He is a SWUGN manager at the Dassault system. Welcome, Dan. How are you?
I'm good, Mohammed. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, you can. Okay, let me stop my screen share. Okay, let me check it. Yeah, you are present now. Go ahead.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Mohammed, is this the first? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Cool. Hey everybody, how you doing? Thanks for having me here. I'll show my screen and we'll get started. Mohammed, is this the first meeting for your user group?
Actually.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Yes, it's first meeting.
First meeting, awesome. Well, congratulations. This is great, and I'm excited to be here with you for it. We got a lot of people here too, which is great. Yeah. One of the things I love one of the things I love to see in these virtual meetings, we have to meet virtually, right? I'm obviously quite a distance away from you folks, but even with COVID and everything going on everywhere, the bulk of SWUGN meetings are all happening virtually. So this is one way we can connect in the meantime. And make sure you use the chat here. There's a chat function of GoToMeeting. Feel free to light that chat up. Let me know what kind of questions you have. Let me know, what you guys think, what you want to see from this user group or from really any user group in the future. And the chat is an open space here. And this is totally informal, right? So if you guys want to talk about anything else, if there's other questions you have besides what I cover here in this presentation, I'd love to hear it, and feel free to throw a question in the chat or come on camera and come on microphone here and feel free to ask questions. That's certainly why I'm here today. All right, Mohammed, do you mind if I get started? Do you want to wait for anybody else?
You can start now.
Okay.
Feel free.
Okay, great. All right, so this presentation here is somewhat brief. I think we slotted 30 minutes or so for this, and I'll kind of see how long it takes us to get through this material. But again, if there's other questions or anything else you guys want to talk about, we could do that as well. But this presentation, the purpose behind it, or my idea behind it, is the SolidWorks User Group Network, what to know as user group members. So if you're a member of this user group and really just a member of SWUGN as a whole, really, what is SWUGN all about, and what are some of the things that we do as a whole yearly? What are some of the things we are all thinking about at all times? So if you have questions along the way, let me know. And again, we can go off on tangents here. We can talk about other topics within the network. But when I'm putting this presentation together, I tried to cover the high level questions or high level purposes behind SWUGN and some of the main high level things we're doing. But there's certainly a lot of important things that happen down at the individual group level as well. So as Mohammed mentioned a moment ago, my name is Dan Wagner. I'm the manager of SWUGN here at SolidWorks, here at Dassault Systems SolidWorks. I've been with Dassault for about a year. I've been in this role for about a year, actually started last October. Prior to that, prior to my time here, I went to Temple University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, here in the US, at the College of Engineering. I focus mostly in mechanical engineering, and I'm a total gearhead. I love cars. I love, motorcycles and all things mechanical. Love all stuff like that. And engineering was a good fit for me on those levels. Right out of engineering school, right out of college, I joined a SolidWorks reseller in the US here, pretty local to me. So if anybody on the call today if you own SolidWorks or if you attend a school that owns SolidWorks, that company, yourself, the school, whoever, has to buy SolidWorks from a reseller. That's usually the traditional path for owning SolidWorks. It has to go through a reseller. And those are all over the world. Those are groups of folks that sell and support SolidWorks software. So through my time, I spent about a little over 12 years at a reseller, doing mostly technical functions with SolidWorks. So teaching SolidWorks classes, doing a lot of SolidWorks tech support over the years, just taking SolidWorks tech support calls. So hey, if you have SolidWorks tech questions and you want to talk about those today, throw them in the chat, right? If you have a burning SolidWorks question that you're always thinking about, let us know, and we could take a look at that as well. But along the way, I certainly got my CSWE. Mohammed, it's also awesome to hear that you're a CSWE as well. That's a difficult exam, so congratulations. That's really cool. And anybody else, if you're a CSWE, let us know. Let us know in the chat. And that's a short list, right? That's a elite club of folks across the world who are CSWE. And yeah, definitely proud of that one. And it takes a little bit of time to get that exam certification. So that was kind of my history prior to joining SolidWorks, prior to managing SWUGN here at SolidWorks. But this whole series of time, from engineering school to supporting SolidWorks customers to teaching SolidWorks classes to managing SolidWorks tech support, prepared me really well for working with the SWUGN network, working with all of the SolidWorks users that are within the SWUGN network. And I've been blown away over the past year just to meet everybody across the world and meet all these new groups across the world, do presentations for groups in Egypt, in Nigeria, in India, and Australia, and of course Sudan here. So it's so that for me has been a really rewarding process over the past year. So Mohammed's letting us know in the chat. So you and Mohammed are the only CSWE in Sudan. So like we said, it's a unique and it's an elite list, right? So if anybody on the call here is listening and you need some help with certification or you have questions about certification, that's another area where we can certainly help you as well. Okay, so this is a list, or this is a breakdown of some of the main points about SWUGN, some of the main takeaways about SWUGN that we were going to dig into and really understand. And this just going forward, right? Going forward, even beyond Mohammed's group here, or if you ever get to the point where you want to start your own user group or you join, we have a few groups that are virtual, meaning anybody in the world can join them, and I'll tell you all about those groups. But these are just good things to know about SWUGN in general going forward. So first of all, what is it? What is SWUGN? SWUGN, or the SolidWorks User Group Network, is run for our users by our users. So that means folks like Mohammed and folks that use SolidWorks at a company, they are the driving force behind the network. They're the ones who start these groups. The whole purpose of this network, the entire stated purpose of this whole entire organization, is to empower SolidWorks users, the folks who are using the software day in, day out, to collaborate with each other, learn from, and teach others. It's all about networking. It's all about connecting users. So anybody who uses SolidWorks anywhere in the world, you have so much to gain by talking to other SolidWorks users. It's like anything else, right? If you want to learn more about the software, get faster at it, get better at it, get certifications in it, one of the best ways to do that is to talk to other SolidWorks users and get tips and tricks from them and understand how they use it. Understand what companies they work at. That's another big thing, is connecting with other users around the world. Also really helps you with job advancement and professional advancement, because you understand what companies use SolidWorks and what kind of demand there is out there for SolidWorks software. What value does it bring to you? Why would you want to do this? Why would you want to be part of the user group network? The biggest thing it really does is it provides you this opportunity to improve your skills with all of SolidWorks products for free, with all of our products, with all SolidWorks products for free. I always try and look at SWUGN as free training. It gives you the ability to connect with users and get free training or free technical know-how from existing SolidWorks users. You then get to kind of turn around and take that training or take that content back to your organization, back to your company, and advance your professional goals. So companies that have SolidWorks users, schools that have SolidWorks users, they're really incentivized. They have a lot of reasons to encourage you to participate in SWUGN. It's only going to help them. It's only going to help those companies and those schools if their users attend more free training. The other side of this, or another way to look at this, is it lets users in the network connect with others in the community and with us, with the brand, connect with SolidWorks. So it enables this space for all the users to connect with each other, network, find out how you use SolidWorks, where you work, what type of jobs you have, but also it connects all of you, it connects all SolidWorks users with us, with the folks at SolidWorks, at the brand here. And that's also important because, one of the things that helps with being connected with the brand is kind of knowing what's coming or knowing the future of the software. So a big thing right now, for example, is the 3D Experience platform. Maybe you've seen some of this, but this is the cloud connected version of SolidWorks, right? We know so many products out there that have gone to a cloud-based format. And you probably use a lot of cloud products right now. You probably use Google. You probably use some cloud products from Amazon or from Apple or some form of cloud connected software. And Dassault Systems is certainly going down that path as well and creating this cloud-based platform. And in the future, all the SolidWorks capabilities and all the tools that we have on the desktop, we hope to have those all available on the cloud as well. And many of them are already there. And in fact, many of them that you can't even do on the desktop version are already there, like advanced surface modeling and some advanced pattern creation tools and advanced analysis tools that are just not available on the desktop version, because the cloud has a lot more strength behind it. So connecting users directly to SolidWorks, again, really helps you because it helps you understand what's coming down the path and what you can really kind of be ready for in the future. So why would SolidWorks do this, right? Why would we make a user group network, or why would we support a user group network? So what value does it bring to us? And I think that's good to know as well. It lets you know how I'm thinking and how we're thinking at SolidWorks. It enables user group leaders who are some of our most knowledgeable and passionate user champions, folks like Mohammed, right? Folks that are taking certifications, participating as SolidWorks champions, participating in SWUGN. It lets all of those people bring the knowledge and the really the understanding of 3D Experience Works to thousands of users. 3D Experience Works is our whole collection of products. So it includes SolidWorks Desktop, but it also includes all of those cloud products I was mentioning a moment ago. So when we see this word here, 3D Experience Works, that includes SolidWorks, among other things, right? One interesting thing about SolidWorks is not only is it the brand SolidWorks on my shirt, right? That's the name of our whole brand, but it's also the name of one product within our family. So it's kind of a weird dichotomy where it's the name of our entire brand, but it's also the name of one of our products. It's kind of like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is like a really big brand that would include a bunch of other things, right? Like Diet Coke and all these other brands, but they also have a product called Coca-Cola. So it's kind of similar. But again, it's all about empowering all these user group leaders to communicate our products really to the world. It gives us a unique opportunity for us to connect directly with users as well. One of the things I mentioned earlier is SolidWorks is sold through resellers. You may have worked with a reseller in the past where we really just connect to the reseller in some case and provide software through the reseller. So in some cases, it kind of disconnects us from the users because we're not talking to the users directly every day as much as the resellers are. And again, I used to work at a reseller for a very long time. So this user group network provides myself and really provides our whole company with a direct channel or a direct path of communication to folks, like everybody on the call here, if you're on this call, I'm assuming you use SolidWorks in some form. Let us know in the chat. How do you use SolidWorks? What do you design? Are you a student? Do you work at a company and design sheet metal parts? Are you helping to teach SolidWorks to other people? Let us know. But SWUGN gives SolidWorks a chance to talk directly to you folks and directly to users around the world. And I think that conversation or that act of talking is really just about getting feedback. We want to know, we want to understand, how can SolidWorks be better? How can we improve the network? How can we improve the product? And that's really the value that SWUGN brings to us. What's unique about it? SWUGN, we know what it is, we know why it's good for you and why it's good for us at SolidWorks, but what's unique about it? None of our competitors can match SWUGN. There's certainly a lot of other CAD programs out there, right? And if you're an engineer, if you're a student, maybe you've come across them before. I won't even name them, without naming those other products, but they're great, right? And a lot of times, SolidWorks is among other things. A company will, in a lot of cases, own SolidWorks and also own other engineering tools, which is great. Whatever, hey, it's all about advancement. It's all about learning engineering skills. But none of those other products have the following or have the passion that SolidWorks does. And I certainly saw that in the reseller space when working directly with users, and I certainly feel it here as well. The passion, Mohammed's letting us know in the chat, SolidWorks is the best. I totally agree. And the passion and the enthusiasm that you folks have and everybody else in the network is amazing. It really is. It's unlike any other competitor out there. And SolidWorks has spent over 25 years building that, right? It took a really long time to get to that level and build that following, but there's millions of users across the world, and no other competitor can have that same network or same passion for their product like SolidWorks does. So what's the status of SWUGN today? And these numbers I pulled, that should say 8/30/2021, not 2020. So small typo there. But these numbers were just pulled this morning. This year to date, we have 96 active user groups across the world. And this is probably a great time to show you the map. I'll show you that map here in just a second. And in those active groups, we have over 18,000 members of folks that are members of those user groups. And year to date, we've had 341 meetings, which is pretty crazy to think that we can't meet physically. These are meetings that all had to happen virtually here. So I'm going to pull up a link here on my other screen. And this page I go to a lot is www.solidworks.com/SWUGN map. SWUGN map is in the background. It's really just a Google map of all of the user groups mapped across the world. So this is a couple different spreadsheets here. But when we talk about how many new groups there are this year, how many new active groups we have, there's actually over 200 dots here on screen because we have over 200 known groups. Only about 96 of them are active this year. And we know that with COVID and everything that's happened in the last 2 years, a lot of groups just haven't been able to hold meetings, or they've been less motivated to hold meetings. But these are all still here. All of these groups are certainly still here, and just kind of examining where some of them are. SWUGN is obviously more prevalent and more common here in North America. This is where it started. In fact, our oldest known group is out in Seattle, Washington. Eric Beatty runs a user group out there that's been going for 25 plus years, which is pretty impressive. But excuse me, this link here is a redirect to a Google map. It's just solidworks.com/SWUGN map. And one of the cool things you can do with this link is you can zoom in, and I'll just pick, near me here, near Philadelphia and Pennsylvania, I have a couple user groups that are kind of near me. And I know this is the group that I would traditionally attend prior to this role. This is the group that I would visit and attend myself. This is the Mid-Atlantic Region Independent SolidWorks User Group. And every one of these groups should have a pairing meetup page as well, like Mohammed does for his event today. And if I click on this page, I can get linked out to the Marisug page, for example. And this is how everybody found Mohammed's event, right? Seeing it on Meetup, being able to RSVP for it. being able to sign up is what makes Meetup so powerful. So when we look at this map, I'm going to zoom back out just a bit here. There's a second layer to it where we can turn on just new groups for 2021. And this is one of the most impressive things to me, that even in a year where in 2 years really, where we haven't been able to physically meet in person, and we're just now starting to see some actual physical meetings take place. I've seen a handful of them in the US, and I've already seen a bunch across the world as well. These are all people who have just decided to start a brand new user group here in either, just kind of 2021, but there's a few from 2020 as well. We're shooting for 80. We're at about 60 new groups for the year right now, so we have a pretty aggressive goal for the year. But again, Mohammed, congrats to you and your group here for getting a new group together. And you have 20 people on the line here, which for a user group, that's great. If you get 20 people in a room to talk about SolidWorks, and I always say nerd out. If we can get into a group and kind of nerd out on SolidWorks a little bit, that's really what this is all about. So check this out. This map is always available to you, and you can cruise through here. Like one of the groups we mentioned a little while ago is the idea of joining a virtual group. So I know that we have a couple different groups that are based strictly on the internet, right? They're virtual groups that don't really have a physical meeting space. One of which I know is Jose's group here in New Jersey. It's Jose lives in New Jersey, so that's where we list the group. But this is the 3D ExperienceWorks user group. This is a virtual group. So the idea is you could be a member of Mohammed's group, but also join Jose's group, also join this 3D ExperienceWorks user group. So the next time that Jose schedules a meeting and it's just to talk about cloud, cloud connected products, you can kind of read through the description here and think about that. I'll put this link in the chat so everybody could, if you wanted to, think about that and check that out. That's one example of a cloud, of a virtual user group. On this map, I know we have a couple others as well, one of which I believe is in Wisconsin here. Let me see where it is. Yep, this is one of our newest user groups, actually. This is an entirely virtual user group dedicated to simulation. So if you're someone who has ever messed with or were interested in finite element analysis or any sort of analysis products like SolidWorks Simulation or Simulia, I'll drop this in the chat as well. This is another great group to join. It's of course free. And the next time that DD schedules a meeting here, this is DD. He's really great. Just like Mohammed, runs a user group and puts a lot of effort behind this. You would get an email and you can join that group and attend DD's next meeting. These are two you could think about. We have another one that's dedicated just to PDM, which is product data management. If anybody on the line here has used that before, it's a SolidWorks tool that helps you organize all your engineering data. And it's pretty intense, it's pretty involved, and we have a user group that's dedicated to the folks who use that and want to share tips and tricks about it. I have some other links as well. Maybe I'll share these just kind of while we're on this topic. This is a list of, the map is nice. I prefer the map, but we also have a list of groups that's organized by region. So if you just wanted to go down this list here, I'll drop this link in the chat here as well. This is solidworks.com/ I think it is, let me test this real quick. I think it's SWUGN group details. SWUGN, let's see, yeah, SWUGN group details will bring you to this list here. I can't type and talk at the same time or I get it wrong. Okay, try that out. And again, the idea here is you're seeing a list of Meetup pages, or in some cases we have Facebook as well. Meetup is definitely our preferred method. I'll tell you more about Meetup here in a second, but we do have some groups that have chosen to use Facebook for one reason or another. In most regions, Meetup seems to work, but in some regions we've had groups say, hey, I can't use Meetup, so they end up going to Facebook instead. But you know, and Mohammed, I'm sure can tell you this, we actually will reimburse groups for using Meetup. So once you sign up for a Meetup account, we'll reimburse you on the back end for having that account. Okay, so our final point here with all of these things about SWUGN in mind is how can it help you? Why, with all of this in mind, how is SWUGN really going to help you? Joining and supporting SWUGN in your region keeps you connected with other SolidWorks users. That's what it's all about. Even when we cannot physically connect, even when COVID prevents us from physically being together, get more opportunities for free training and professional networking. So it's all about connecting with other users, staying connected with us, with SolidWorks, staying connected with all your co-workers, with people in your region that use SolidWorks, and just being more connected to the engineering community as a whole. So SWUGN really is everywhere, right? And we showed you the map. We kind of talked through some of those points. And I wanted to take a moment just to dive a little bit deeper into Meetup.com and maybe just some tips and tricks for navigating Meetup. And this is all powered by Meetup, right? So why do we use Meetup.com? It's a website for finding people, building local communities. People use Meetup to meet new people, learn new things, find support, get out of their comfort zone, right? It helps you kind of step a little bit outside your comfort zone and meet and network with new people and pursue their passions together. And this is actually a quote directly from Meetup's mission statement, which I think aligns with SWUGN and aligns with what we do so closely. So I'll give you a quick tour here of Meetup, and I think this will help you help everybody kind of going forward. One thing I have done is I've saved a link here, or saved a bookmark with my Meetup calendar. So if you sign into your Meetup account, if you're on your your Meetup homepage here, you have meetings you're attending or events from groups you've joined. So even if I did that, I did more events, it brings you to this calendar approach, or this calendar view of all the meetings. So I see Mohammed's meeting here, but I see a bunch of other meetings in the pretty near future from other groups. Now my situation here is a little unique because I'm a member of all of these groups. I went through individually and joined every single one of these groups. I'm not suggesting that for everybody on the phone here. That would take you a while. But I would suggest go through and pick out the ones that stand out to you. You can pick out some of the biggest groups, or some of the groups that hold the most meetings, and connect with them. Just because you want to stay in the loop with what they're going on, what they have going on, it's okay to join. It's okay to join any group or any user group on Meetup, and the group leader would certainly welcome you, even if you can't be there in person. As we discussed, there's even a few groups that are virtual, and you could just connect with them and just meet with them virtually and see what they have going on, right? Some of these groups have been doing this a long time, and they pull in some really great presentations, some fantastic content that I keep trying to relay to everybody is free training. It really is free SolidWorks training, and it just helps you understand the tool that much better. For example, one of which, I'll just zoom into Joe's group here in Houston, Texas, here in the US. Joe has been running this group for a long time, and Joe is in the leaderboard for meetings this year, meaning he has held like over 30 meetings this year, because Joe will kind of cross list events. Or Joe, if I go to his page here, just kind of look down the list, Joe will find other things that are going on in the community. For example, Go Engineer is a really big reseller here in the US, and they're holding SolidWorks 2022 What's New events, big events where they show what's new with the software. So Joe will take those events, and Mohammed, you could do this for your group if you wanted to in the future, and list those events as events for his members. So it's kind of like cross-promoting this event for Go Engineer, but really it's just Joe communicating this to his members and sharing this information to make sure the members know about that event. So I'm giving you some examples here, right? But if you're on meetup.com and you go to that more events page, you can kind of see what's going on. This gives you a really easy approach, or a really easy view into what's going on. So if we pick Mohammed's event for today, it was really easy to RSVP for it. add it to my calendar, and jump directly into GoToMeeting. So Mohammed, nice work, and thank you for this graphic too, for this awesome graphic. That was really cool. Thank you. All right, so that's a quick look at Meetup.com. And finally, I wanted to kind of cover this event too, because I'm in the middle of recapping this. If anybody didn't see this, believe it or not, it was a month ago already. It was an event called Slugme 6. So in this presentation, I'm trying to cover the big things in SWUGN and the big things that we do every year. Slugme, or the SolidWorks largest user group meeting ever. That's what that acronym means. This happens every year. And last year we did it in November. This year we did it in August, and we streamed live for over 25 hours on YouTube, as crazy as that sounds. We organized 24 plus presentations to stream live on YouTube, and we had over 5,000 views, over 3,000 people, over 3,000 live chats in the chat during the stream. If anybody saw this, if anybody participated, let me know in the chat here. Give us a note or let us know what you thought. But it was awesome. It was viewed in 41 countries across the world. If anybody saw any of this, let us know. The purpose of me mentioning this is an event as a part of the community you want to watch out for every year. It's really cool, and you certainly want to check it out. But I'm also getting ready to post all of the content on YouTube. So if we go to, I'm going to pull this up on my screen here. If I go to the SolidWorks YouTube page, I'm going to bring this over here in just a moment. If we go to the SolidWorks YouTube page here, the first thing you're going to want to do is subscribe to this YouTube page, because we're always posting new content. I'll drop this in the chat as well. We're always posting new content, and as you can see right now, most of it is SolidWorks 2022 content. 2022 doesn't come out till later this year, until about November, but we're showing you now what's new with it, so you can be ready and start to think about how it will help you in your design process. So Mohammed, you saw Rob's session. Yeah, Rob Maldonado, I assume you mean, and Rob was awesome. Rob was really great. So first of all, subscribe to this channel, because YouTube, there's a lot of great content up there. But I'm in the middle of posting all of the Slugme content on YouTube. All of those 24 sessions, we're getting ready to upload and release all of them. This is the only one we have up there so far. I'll share this in the chat. I'm just throwing a lot of links out at everybody here today. I hope that's all right. But this is a really cool video of a magic wheelchair build that we sponsored through Slugme, and I'll kind of just jump to the end here. You can kind of see what this looks like. That we sponsored for a child in the UK that's in a wheelchair, and this is like a Halloween costume for that child to kind of ride around on his wheelchair. And SolidWorks, we're very involved with Magic Wheelchair, and we do at least one build with them every year, and this one we did as part of Slugme. Very powerful, very cool stuff to see. But this event, the Slugme content, all of those things, it's all stuff you definitely want to watch for on YouTube. And the easiest way to stay in the loop with this is go to this page and subscribe to this content. Make sure you're subscribed and ready to see the new content there from Slugme. This event was crazy. I think I'm still recovering from it, because we stayed up all weekend and went through it, but well worth it, and definitely a great time. All right, this is my last slide here, Mohammed, and then we'll kind of wrap up here at the end. But we certainly need your help, right? I always make this plea to all new SWUGN members and anybody I get the chance. We certainly need your help. We want to increase members in not only your local user group, but really all local user groups, and we want to drive attendance to these meetings. We want to give you reasons to attend these meetings and come and hang out with Mohammed and whoever the presenter is, and attend these meetings, whether it's virtually or hopefully in the future it can be physically as well. So the step one, we've already covered this. Join a group. Join Mohammed's group if you didn't already on Meetup. That way, if he posts a meeting or if anything is happening, you'll be in the loop. You'll receive emails about scheduled meetings. You can even take those emails or take that content and promote it yourself. Paste it on your social media, share it with your friends, right? Get it out there and get more people in these meetings. You can take that content and share it out. You can also take those content and share them. Do you have a local VAR? Do you have somebody that again, Mohammed or anybody else that you're working with that either you get SolidWorks from or your school gets SolidWorks from, share your meetings with your VAR, tech sales and marketing people, share your meetings with your schools, share them with your other students, with your professors, with your teachers. It's free training, right? If we continue to line up presentations and put together cool content, that's really what these meetings are all about. If you have questions, if there's anything I can ever help with, Mohammed has already reached out, which is great. Thanks again, Mohammed, for doing that. Anybody can reach me at dan.wagner@3ds.com. And Mohammed, I think that is my last slide, sir. Any questions, let us know.
Yes, thank you so much for your presentation. It's a very helpful, to know more about SWUGN and SolidWorks, and it is one of the good software that I use personally in order to model very nice stuff, and also I watch for inspiring people like Rob, and I love to use SolidWorks Visualize. So
yeah,
I'm really excited, to share SolidWorks here in Sudan, and the people that are very welcoming for that. So we are planning to make what's called initiative in order to spread SolidWorks here in Sudan. We hope that.
Awesome.
So if anybody got question, you are more than welcome.
Hello guys, I am Osman Mubarak. Nice to meet you, Dan.
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
Good,
okay.
thanks.
I just have one question for you, Dan. Which companies you work for or you are work freelance? That's my question, and I hope that you answer it.
You said the question was about freelance work?
Yes. Are you working freelance or you have some companies you work for?
Yeah, so I certainly do not work freelance myself, working for SolidWorks Direct. I know though that I have seen a lot of companies out there pull in contractors or pull in temporary SolidWorks users, like freelance users. I've certainly seen that before. I don't know of any, Osman. I'm sorry off the top of my head here, but that's one of the things about connecting with a SolidWorks network user group like this. You can talk to all these people on the line here, and you can talk to everybody across the world and see if anybody out there is looking for any freelance SolidWorks work.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Great question too. So Mohammed, I know you had we wanted to select a winner for today as well.
Yeah, in the previous time, we said a competition, and the winner of the competition, his name is Mahmoud Jawhar. His design is it's very cool because it reflects Sinai region, and he get more dedicated himself in order to make the model. So I want to also thank our supporter, Soros Professor, to provide for the winner a subscription for 1 year. So it is a good opportunity for Mahmoud and the people here in Sudan in order to enhance themselves and to be better in SolidWorks.
That's great. That's fantastic.
I think in previous time that I get opportunity in Solid Professor, I get a subscription for 1 month, and that's the reason that I love SolidWorks, and I got opportunity in order to get certified. And start with SolidWorks with CSWE AM additive manufacturing. This is the first certification that I start with.
From Solid Professor, you're saying, Mohammed?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a great company. They put together some awesome content.
Yeah, they're good. Okay, if anybody else have a question.
Hey, Mr. Dan.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Mohammed. Yeah, I can hear you.
My name is Muhammad, and I want to know what is the perfect strategy that I can follow to learn SolidWorks design.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of perfect strategies. I don't know if there's any just one, because it really depends on you and the particular person. One thing you can start with immediately right out of the gate. I'm going to show my screen here again real quick. If you go to mysolidworks.com, so I'm going to zoom in so you can see this link here. This is my.solidworks.com. This is our training homepage, or our content homepage. There's actually purchased levels of this where you can purchase more training. But if you just on this page just go to training, there's some great content you can get started with for free right out of the gate that you can kind of dig through here and go through these training materials or training content. That could be step one, is go to mysolidworks.com and check out the training content we have there. Mohammed, do you have SolidWorks available to you? Do you use SolidWorks?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, the other Mohammed, I'm sorry, the gentleman who just asked the question.
Mohammed.
The reason I asked that, if I
Yeah, I have it in my laptop, SolidWorks 2020.
Oh, cool, great. So I have SolidWorks 2021 here, and you'll have this in 2020 as well. If you go to help and then tutorials, maybe you've done this in the past already, but these tutorials are interactive and they're really loaded. They're really great. So for example, if I just do all SolidWorks tutorials, SolidWorks is all about parts, assemblies, and drawings. Those are the three things we get from SolidWorks, right? Parts, assemblies, and drawings. So I would start there. Open up SolidWorks, open up these tutorials, and start with parts, assemblies, and drawings here. These three, like, those are the core content from SolidWorks that you need to know to be successful with it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dan.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, Mr. Dan.
Yes, yeah, nice to meet you.
I am Mohammed Al-Mutaba also. Mohammed is my colleague. And I am also a Khartoum SWUGN leader.
Great.
Actually, I have a question for as a SWUGN member.
Sure.
Is it any available chances to have a certification? Because I have a lot of questions in that, and I found some of articles in 3D Experience platform for SWUG leaders. They have a post in that. They like you in the time in the year they can make a offer for a SWUG member. Is it correctly or is it not? Or you can.
Yeah, no, that's entirely correct. So I work with Mike Puckett, and Mike Puckett is the leader of the whole certification system here at SolidWorks. And Mike makes the offer to user groups that after a certain period of time, if that group is in good standing, so let's say, Mohammed, in this group here, you go on to have 4 or 5 more meetings or something, a handful of meetings through the rest of this year. Mike and I can have a conversation and say, hey, Mohammed's group is great. They've had some meetings. What Mike is trying to do is protect the program and not hand away certifications to a group that maybe hasn't been around a long time or might not have the best intentions, that kind of thing. You would not believe how crazy the certification world is. Mike gets a lot of people that try to game the system, and like everything else, right? People try to hack it or try and do some interesting things. So as long as the group is in good standing, there's some meetings. I've met with the leader, which in this case I've already met with Mohammed, later on, yes, we can set up a program where Mike would offer codes to all your members, certification codes to your members to take some exams.
Thank you for the answering. We can make more, encourage them, like have a competition like Model Mania and things like that for SWUGN member, to encourage them to use SolidWorks, and as a prize, every member can have a certification code, so that more member can get into SWUGN groups.
Definitely. In the future, I would love to sponsor something like that. Yeah, if we can get a competition together, some kind of proposal, and I work with Mike to do it, I'd be happy to do that. That would be awesome. Yeah, that's a great idea. Awesome.
Hi,
if
Mr.
anybody
Dan.
else have a question?
Yeah, yes, I'm just want to
A
ask
question, please.
Mr. Dan. I want to ask Mr. Dan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I just want to ask you, are you available anytime? Are we gonna meet again?
I would love to come back if Mohammed, if we can put another meeting together, and even if it's not me presenting, Mohammed, even if I come back and just hang out at your next meeting, I'm more than happy to.
Okay. Yeah, we're happy to meet you.
Cool. Thank you.
You have a question, please?
Yes.
Well, I think I started learning SolidWorks in maybe like 2016, but since then I was just kind of a self-learner, like sometimes just downloading videos from YouTube and other kind of websites.
Yeah.
But for the recent time, I noticed that most of the people used to talk about SolidWorks certificates, like whether it's associate or expert or something like that. So I just want to know, like in general, like as an engineer, like especially like a design engineer, what's the benefit of having one of the SolidWorks certificates?
Well, it's certainly a resume builder as an engineer, right? If you're an engineer and you can put on your resume that I'm a certified SolidWorks associate or certified SolidWorks professional or certified SolidWorks expert, most engineering companies that have SolidWorks in-house will know those exams and will know the type of people that they've seen take them. That's the main benefit is getting that experience and getting that certification for your resume or just as part of your skill set going forward.
I don't know, like okay, so I think one of the time I think I met Muhammad in my university, and he just kind of enlightened me about this kind of certificate. So I think in the next holiday I would like to start like my career in this certificate, and I don't know like how I'm going to start it. I think the previous one asked about the same question.
Yeah, I know one thing. Let me see if I can pull up this certification page here. Okay, so Mike, and again, this is on Mike Puckett's team, but they have a really great web page here devoted to all the certifications and even some practice exams, so you can kind of see what they're all about. Here, I'll drop this link in the chat, and you can take a look at that. This helps you understand what the exams are, and even lets you get some. I think if you go down to the CSW, let's see, CSWP mechanical design, I believe there is some sample. Yeah, so there's a sample CSWP exam in here. This is a great place to get started, just so you can kind of get an idea for what's on this exam. Does that answer your question? Okay, he said thank you. Cool. Cool.
Actually, I have a question about this drafter and mechanical designer. The mechanical drafter and mechanical designer. because we have here in university, they told us that SolidWorks or any software is a just tool. You have to know the principles of mechanical design to be a mechanical designer. Like, but when you know SolidWorks and all feature and how to use it, you are just a drafter. Is it correct statement or not? Or
yeah, I'd say I have a mixed answer there, because I've certainly seen at really big companies, and in doing tech support, I worked with a lot of companies. At really big companies, they had drafters, folks who just kind of use SolidWorks, and engineers, and they had both teams, right? And the engineers, it would seem, would dream up the ideas and put things together and do a little bit of SolidWorks work. But then all of the detailed work, all of the fine detailed work of SolidWorks, the drafting team would do. But that's at a really big company, right? That's at a super big company where that sets up. In a smaller space, in a smaller environment where maybe you only have 1 to 5 engineers, those folks are also the drafters. Those folks are going to tend to not only be the SolidWorks user, but also be the drafter and the analysis person, and maybe shipping or something, right? They tend to wear multiple hats at a smaller company. So yeah, I think you should have some form of engineering knowledge, like some formal engineering training at a university, but the SolidWorks user at a small company is probably going to do both things. It's probably going to be a drafter and probably an engineer as well.
Thanks, Mr. Dan Wagner. I think the time is running out. I'm very, very excited to have you all members, and we're gonna manage another meetings and another competition in order to go forward with SolidWorks and improve ourselves and using it wisely. And thank you so much, Dan Wagner, for coming with us.
Yeah, of course, Mohammed. Thank you for having me, and nice to meet everybody.
Nice to meet you too. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.
Same to you. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
محمد
السلام.
في تاني ميتنج كده في المستقبل ان شاء الله هننظم لكم واحد ولا شوي؟
ان شاء الله باذن الله. بس خليك زي ما اقول ستيك كلوزر هنا. هنعمل قناه بتاعت يوتيوب، هنرفع اسمه شنو الفيديوهات، وثاني ان شاء الله خليكم في الفيسبوك، وثاني بسموها شنو تليجرام، وقناه تليجرام يكون بنعمل بوست. شكرا لكم شديد على الحضور. Thank you everyone for your attending. I'm really appreciate it, and see you soon inshallah.